If you're not sure whether or not you're ready to buy a home, stay tuned because we're going to find out together. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Really Realty, the channel dedicated to help you achieve your dreams through the amazing world of real estate. My name's Dimitri Anagnostopoulos. I'm a realtor here in Scottsdale, Arizona, and today we are finding out how to know when you're ready to buy a house. If you're new here, welcome. This is a channel dedicated to all adults to help educate them on the ins and outs of real estate and to give them tips and tricks on how to achieve their dreams. Without further ado, let's get to the video. The biggest limiting factor when considering when to buy a home is getting over the mental block. If you watched my video on debunking home ownership myths, this was the last misconception, and I felt so passionately about it that I had to devote an entire video to it. Sometimes you're not even aware that you have the ability to buy a home because you've never done it before. Well, today we're going to put all those fears to rest. Let's picture for a second a series of gates, and at the end we have our goal of home ownership. Now, in order to get there, we have to go through each gate in order. And sometimes you've already unlocked a couple of those gates, but you can't realize it until you've gotten past the one in front of you. By following the order in this video, hopefully we can get you going the right direction towards unlocking the path to home ownership. Let's get started. The first test that you have to pass when self-evaluating is your employment status. It's a super basic first step, but it goes a long way. Have you had a consistent income for the last 2 years? Do you switch jobs frequently? How secure is your job? In order to get past the first gate, these are some questions that you have to answer about yourself. A great rule of thumb is, ask yourself, have you worked the same job for the last 2 years? If yes, chances are, you're ready to pass through gate 1. You see? How easy was that? On to the next one. Our second test then is to focus on your income. Your income is the main indicator on whether or not you're ready to buy a home, because a lender is going to use it to determine your qualifying ratios. Now, what does that mean? Well, a lender won't give you money unless your total debts is under a certain percentage of your monthly income. So you won't even be able to purchase a home if your paycheck is the same amount of your monthly mortgage payment. This is why job security is gate number 1, because consistent income is key. They need to see that you won't be in financial ruin if you get coronavirus for a couple of days. This means that they're going to be looking at your hourly rate, your salary, or your tax records. For example, as a realtor, I don't have a consistent hourly pay, which puts me at a big risk for lenders to loan money to. So, in order to qualify for a loan, I would have to provide about 2 years of tax records to prove that I can handle the monthly expenses. If you're not ready to buy a home, then a rejection letter from a lender is going to be your first big indicator. And don't worry, because a rejection from a lender doesn't prevent you from trying again later. Moving on to gate number 3. Our third test is the dreaded credit score, which is a huge factor in being able to purchase a home. Not only do you need a long history of credit usage, but you also need depth, aka the amount of money that you've been lended and paid back over time. When you hear credit score, your first instinct is probably to think of credit cards. But did you know that other payments like your student loans and your car loans can also affect it? So are debts that are sent to collectors, like unpaid medical bills, unpaid parking tickets, and even unpaid child support payments. Again, the best person to talk to in order to get a green light or some credit guidance is a lender. So if you are looking for that guidance, I can put you in contact with someone that I know that is going to help you get to the next step. Once you've built a solid credit score, it's time for step 4. Gate number 4 has to do with your savings. If you've been working long enough to qualify for a loan, odds are you've probably saved a good amount of money for your down payment. But how much should that be? Well, traditionally, we're told that it's about 20% of the home's value. So if a home's listed for $300,000, that's a $60,000 down payment, right? Well, luckily we have options now. FHA loans only need 3.5% to qualify, and first-time home buyers get even less than that, 3%, which means for that same $300,000 house, you're only going to need $9,000 for the down payment. And it's also really important to consider your income. Will you be able to afford monthly mortgage payments and also be able to save up money for a rainy day or other goals for yourself? That's why the debt to income ratio that the lender qualifies you for is so important. But as daunting as buying a home can be, depending on how much you're paying for rent, you might actually be able to pay less per month for your mortgage, which means you can save a few extra $100 every single month towards those goals. Ask yourself, What would my present and future financial position look like if I owned a home? And go on to the last test. Let's take a deep breath, because that was a lot to consider. Luckily, gate number 5 is the easiest, because all it requires is for you to take a look at what your life is right now. What are your needs? Are you going to live alone or with other people? Because that affects how many bedrooms you need. Do you like your own private space in your bathroom? Where do you want to live? Do you feel like doing work to update a home? Or do you want something that's already move-in ready? How much furniture do you have for a home? Do you have a pet that needs a yard? Take a moment to just visualize what you want your home to look like. Believe it or not, home buying is a lot more of an emotional experience than most people think. Clients will buy homes just because they really felt it as soon as they walked in through the door. What's it going to take to make you feel at home? Alright, so you've evaluated your career, your income, your credit, your savings, and your lifestyle. What's left? The answer is not a whole lot. See what I mean by being further along than you realize? Getting past that mental block is really the biggest step, because buying a home doesn't have to be complicated. And it's only really difficult when you really can't afford a home, because there's going to be so many roadblocks that prevent you from being able to. Otherwise, once you're ready, you realize you can kind of just do it. So, shoot me a message. Let's get it going. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, do all that great stuff, and stay tuned for a new video every Friday. My name is Dimitri Anagnostopoulos, and thank you so much for watching.